Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. So let's get started. Now that you're registered in IPP, you went through the program, you registered, let's go ahead and log in so we can submit our first invoice in IPP. So this is your homepage. Your homepage will give you everything you need at a glance. It will show you how to create invoice links. It'll have information for taxes, information for news and training that's coming up. So this homepage is your one-stop shop. Before we get into the invoicing, we're going to go through these different tabs so we can kind of understand what each one of them mean. The order page will show you the last 90 days of contracts that you have actually won, that is waiting to be fulfilled, that are pending and waiting for services to be completed. This is where all your new contracts will be for the last 90 days. The invoicing will show you any invoices that's pending for the last 90 days. Everything is always going to be the last 90 days. The payments is going to show you all the payments that have paid out, that has actually been sent to your bank for the last 90 days. And the reports is a tab we don't really use, but I'm assuming that you can create certain reports to see everything at a bigger glance. That's what I'm assuming. And then the admin button, it just shows you who's the admin, who's able to submit. So let's go back to the home page and let's submit our first invoice. So there are 3 different type of ways to submit an invoice. You can actually go to create an invoice on the home page. It will ask you in the drop down 3 questions that you need to answer. You need to have that PO number. That PO number will be in your orders tab. Then just answer the questions according to your contract. And then click OK. Now, that's how you get into the invoice. The second way is to actually click on invoice and create an invoice. Now, I don't recommend this method because it's just technically going to take you back originally to the first page that we went to. And you got to enter more information that you may not even be aware of. I don't recommend this method. Now, the third and easiest way to do it is to click the quick search option and click on go. Now, this will pull up all your invoices, the invoices that are pending, the invoices that have not yet been serviced, and the invoices that have been paid out. Find your invoice. You're going to click either the view tab or the PO box, PO number, and go to the purchase order page. Now, before we get started, I'm going to tell you, you are going to need the start date and finish date of this contract. And you can find that right here on the schedule button. And you see where it says service date to and from. You're going to need to remember that because you're going to have to put that in your invoice as you're submitting it. So write that down, go back to the contract order page and go to create an invoice. So let's go over the sections that you would need to fill out. The first question they ask is the invoice number. Guys, you have to have your own invoice number. You make this up, no one gives this to you, but make sure to keep record of your invoices numbers for accounting purposes. Anything with an asterisk you will have to fill out. The issue date, they will pre-populate. All of that other information should already be pre-populated because remember, when you win a contract, the contract officer actually puts in the contract for you. Now at the bottom, this is where you will put in your invoice. This is the invoice. You will click on the check button and then enter the information as needed. Remember those dates I told you guys to remember and to write down? Well, this is where you put them. The service start date, the service finish date, and the quantity of whatever you're submitting. And then the unit price will already be in there. So let me show you what it's like to submit an invoice. First thing, you're going to have to create an invoice number. You must have this invoice number, keep it for your records for a later date so that you can track for accounting purposes. You're going to put the bid start date and the bid end date. This is basically the date of the contract from when it started to when it ended. So you can put that in here. It is not asterisk, but I believe if you don't put it in there, it will kick it back. Then fill out the rest of the information according to your contract. And then at the second to the last line, it's going to ask you, is this your final invoice? The answer is no. If it is your final invoice, that means you're completed a job. There's nothing left to do. If it is not your final invoice, meaning you got a 5-year contract, you're going to put no. So if this is the last part of the job, you're going to click yes. If it's not, you're going to click no. Make sure to click the select box so that your invoice can be selected. Then you're going to put the service dates like we had discussed earlier. You're going to put when the contract started from and then when the contract ended, or when the contract is supposed to end, but only for that line item number that you are invoicing for. You're going to do this for every invoice. Even if the period of performance has not ended, you're still going to do this for every invoice. And then in the comment section, I would just copy and paste whatever is in the contract for that line item. I would just copy it and paste it. Then once you put that in, just make sure that everything is correct. Take another overview of it. But once everything is correct, all the dates, the invoice number, just go ahead and hit that submit button. And guys, you have just submitted your first invoice in IPP. Remember that invoice pending page? There's your invoice. It is pending now. If you go to invoices, you're going to see your invoice saying pending submission. Okay, so this is it. You've just submitted your first invoice. Well, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial. If you have any more questions, please put it in the comments. Also, make sure to subscribe and like this video for more content. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more tutorials.